What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on March 28th, and we have an absolutely packed show. We have a packed show, so let's not get into any bullshit. Let's just start rolling through. We have Anna Merrick joining us in 9 minutes. We have Ski Profit joining us in 19 minutes. We have Maxwell Smart joining us in 29 minutes. We've got, or maybe that's 39 minutes. Sorry, in 39 minutes, because we have 20 minutes with Ski Profit to break down this NBA card. So let's get right to it. Shout out to everybody in the chat, but we have got to get right to it. Dennis Garcia said, Jimmy, good call. I'm not trusting Michaelis. That, with the chat's opinion on St. Louis, convinced me that the over was to play great work. Some overs are coming in, but let's not, get to. I should have jumped on the Dodgers. That was stupid. But some things are looking good right now. And God, we got to get that run in Minnesota. But some things are looking good right now. The over in Houston, Tampa should cash. The Chicago-Texas over is just about to cash. So that's nice. Now, Pittsburgh's down 1-0, so that could be a double loss there. So not looking good. Padres are up 1-0, so let's get that to cash. So, okay, but we got to get through this as fast as possible. Sorry, I don't mean to be talking so fast, but we have a packed show. Okay, I am going to jump on the Red Sox. -1.5, -113 at 5 dimes. Sale was untouchable all spring. 9 innings, didn't allow a run, 0.56 whip. The Mariners are coming back from Japan. They're probably still feeling a little bit of jet lag, although there's claims that they aren't or whatever. Marco Gonzalez did not look good at all in spring. Did not look very good in his first start. They pulled him after 69 pitches. Now, he says he's ready to roll. But Mariners traded away Cano, Diaz, Segura, Zunino, Paxton. They let Nelson Cruz walk. The Red Sox feel good about themselves. Sale signed a nice extension. Long story short, Boston's only going to be without Steven Pierce, and I'm jumping on the -1.5. Okay, that's what's up there. Now, let's go through the NHL card. I've already tweeted out these bets, but let's go through them as fast as possible to let you guys know what I'm on. Not applicable saying, shit the bed Flames came in 14-5. Not applicable. What you're doing is spectacular. I love it. And I need to know who's going to shit the bed before I make my bets, which is not going to happen. But take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Okay, we got to roll through. Lil J says, love the Red Sox tonight. Beautiful. Okay, so, I gave some totals. Kobe Valentine said, I vouch for I don't think he used vouch, but whatever. He said, I like that total in Astros Rays. And of course, that's the one that's going to hit. So working together and Kobe says, I like Boston -1.5 tonight. That should mean a winner. Okay. 7 minutes till Anna Merrick joins us to break down UFC. Let's quickly go over my NHL card as fast as possible. Man, there's a lot of notes today. Okay, here we go. I did decide to jump on the Red Wings money line. Oh, and I've got to do the line shopping because I didn't do it because I was in such a rush. Okay, sorry. So let's get to the NHL card. I'm jumping on the Red Wings money line here. Red Wings money line. Ullmark is going to be in goal. The market is going towards Buffalo, and that doesn't concern me. Ullmark is terrible. Plus 145 at 5 dimes. Red Wings will look great on this road trip. They've won 3 of 4. Larkin and Athanasiou are playing very well. Athanasiou has 29 goals. Larkin has 28. They each scored in the last game. Now, there's no Green or Daly for the rest of the year, but Eriksson came back. There's no Vanek, but it doesn't matter. Abdelkader is also done for the year, but they've got guys stepping up, and I'm going to back him here. Jack Eichel has 3 points in his last 8 games. The Florida Panthers fall apart. Vincent Trocheck steps up, talks in the dressing room, says that we're embarrassed, says let's get our shit together. Where's Jack Eichel? Why is he not saying anything right now? Rasmus Ristolainen was sick on Tuesday night. It's unclear if he's going to be in the lineup, but they have no Bogosian, no McCabe, and Evan Rodriguez third line center Evan Rodriguez dealing with an upper body injury. So, now, Capitals, Hurricanes. I'm going to do my best to keep an eye on you guys. Gate Pass Key says, Wings money line, Caps money line, Jackets puck line, Jets puck line, Panthers puck line, Canucks puck line, Oilers money line. We're on a lot of the same plays. Love hearing that, Gate Pass Key. And yes, AD is going to be in the lineup. Okay, King Rail, thank you so much for joining us. I'm very excited to have you here with us when I have Ski as well. Okay, Capitals, Hurricanes. It's going to be McElhaney in net against Holtby. They're not going with Mrazek. I think that McElhaney's susceptible, but he's also an older veteran and a leader. He could step up and have a nice game here. He's had a great year. So they're finishing up the second half of the home and home. Makes me think of Revenge Game J. I wonder, Revenge Game J would be on the Hurricanes. I'm not going to be on either. Capitals are 3-2-1 their last 6. TJ Oshie missed Thursday's practice because he's sick. They're out without Kempney for the rest of the year. Washington's also beaten the Hurricanes in all 3 meetings this year, holding a 13-7 scoring edge. You know that Brendan Moore is going to be talking about that. Hurricanes, Corsi darlings. They get a ton of shots. They'd won 4, 5, and 6 of 8 before the loss against Washington. They're completely healthy. I'm off. Canadians, Jackets. I am on an under 5.5. That's a play I rarely make in the NHL. Price and Bobrovsky are playing so good. I'm jumping on it. Let's see what I'm going to get on my under 5.5 here. Montreal, Columbus, under 5.5. There's a minus 106 at BetOnline. Under 5.5, minus 106 at BetOnline. Habs coming off that easy 6-1 win. Habs 31st ranked power play is terrible. Blue Jackets 4th ranked penalty killing will completely shut them down. I also like the Jackets, but I would need to take a minus 1.5, and I'm not going to do that. Thomas Tatar scored 2 more goals, give him 25. Andrew Shaw is playing great hockey. He's so important to this team come NHL time. Carey Price started 9 straight. He's only allowed 13 goals in his last 8 games. Paul Byron did not travel with the team with an upper body injury. And then Bobrovsky's rolling. Also, I was listening to a Columbus Blue Jacket beat reporter. He was saying it's not Zingle, it's not Duchesne, it's not that other guy they picked up, Bjorkstrand, that it's Panarin. Panarin had disappeared, but he scored. He snapped a 12-game goal drought. Bobrovsky has 3 shutouts in his past 4 games. Shutout streak of 157 minutes, 55 seconds. This will be a playoff-type game. I'm on the under. Then I'm backing the Panthers tonight. I loved what Trocheck said. I love that Luongo's going in goal here. They need a veteran leader to step up. They need Trocheck to say how embarrassed he is. He said, we quit. He said he's embarrassed, extremely embarrassing. Every single guy in here should be embarrassed. All that stuff. I think they step up here. And the big thing why I'm on the Panthers is that Craig Anderson is not in goal. Craig Anderson's been playing very, very well lately. He's not in goal. Anders Nilsson is in goal. That's a perfect spot for the Panthers to get it back, minus 1.5. In fact, this has become my favorite play on the NHL card. Panthers minus 1.5. Let's quickly see what I'm getting on the... Jesus, sorry, I pressed the wrong button. Got to move fast here. Wow, Zimmerman, perfect game through 6. Wow. I wish I had to back that shit. I think the Jays are going to be real easy to pitch to. Okay, Gate Pass Key says Hope Habs win. Okay, let's just go to this minus 1.5 Panthers at plus 182 at Heritage. This has become my favorite play on the card. Minus 1.5, plus 182. Trocheck, good Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania boy. He's going to get him rolling. Luongo's going to step up in net. Nilsson's going to get fondled. Panthers minus 1.5. Islanders at Jets. I'm going back to the well with the... Oh, me too, says Gate Pasky. Love seeing that. I'm going back to the well. I'm taking the Jets. They lost that game 5-2 to Dallas. It was embarrassing. They need to step up here. Islanders are not playing very good hockey. They're without Ladd. They're also without Valtteri Filppula. He's an important defenseman for their accountability defensively. Winnipeg Jets minus 1.5. I'm taking plus 171. Bufflin's about to be back, but he's not going to be back tonight. I still think they take care of business here. Plus 171. Hellebuck better step up. It looks like it'll be Lehner in goal. I'm sorry that I'm talking so fast, but it has to be this way. Oilers money line. Jumping on this right now. Oilers money line. Feel like Gate Pass Keys on this. I completely understand. Minus 102 is the best line I can get. That's market. Minus 102. I like this spot. Khudobin, this is a lot of pressure for Khudobin. I know he's been the best backup goalie in the NHL, but let's see if he does it here. Koskinen better step up. The Oilers actually feel okay about themselves after that 8-4 win. Zuccarello's almost back, but Richie's out. Zuccarello's out. Pitlick's out. Hansel's been out all year. Who cares? The Oilers still have a little bit of hope and a reason to smile after that outburst. I'm on the Oilers. This is a tough back-to-back for Dallas. Kings Canucks, I'm on the over 5.5. Okay, this will be my second favorite play on the card. Or maybe, I guess I just think the Panthers are giving all the value. I'm taking the over 5.5 here. This is easy. Now, bet 365's at minus 105, but all these other books are plus money. The Canadians know that and Canadians meaning the people that live in Canada that are betting at bet 365, they know that Thatcher Demko is playing terrible hockey. It's the other countries don't realize how bad he's playing in net and how there's going to be goals. Also, Desjardins left Kovalchuk in LA. Good. He wants to play an extra defenseman instead of that bum. Thinks he can go to KHL for 5 years, come back and do anything here? Come on, you're an old man, Kovalchuk. Hang up the blades or go back to Russia, you bum. I'm on the over 5.5 here. I'm getting plus 107 at BetOnline. There's going to be goals. Demko's terrible. Quick's been playing terrible. I'm on the over 5.5 there. And then Blackhawks Sharks, I'm just staying away. No Pavelski. no Carlson, and also Radim Semek. It's not a lot. People don't really know much about him. You know that the Sharks were 31-9-3 when he was paired with Brent Burns on the Sharks. Now he's out of the lineup. He tore his ACL or something, so he's done for like 5 months. All that said and done, that's my NHL card today. Okay, let's go over it one last time. Okay. Oh shit, that's the baseball. Okay, quickly. So I add Red Sox -1.5. Come on, let's get there. God damn it. Got to get to the UFC here. Got to keep a brisk pace. Got to keep this shit together. All right. I'm on Red Wings money line +145. I'm off the Capitals Hurricanes. I'm on the under 5.5 at -106 and Canadians Blue Jackets. I rarely take under 5.5s. I'm on the Panthers -1.5 +182. That's the best value on the card. I'm on the Jets -1.5 at +171. I'm on the Oilers money line -102, and I'm on the over 5.5 at +107 Kings Canucks. Book it, bank it. Let's get to UFC right now. I see my man Anna Merrick ready to rock. Looking forward to break this down. So we got Anna Merrick coming up now, Ski Profit coming in 10 minutes, and then we have Maxwell Smart to hammer this NCAA basketball card. Let's keep a brisk pace. Book it. Anna Merrick, how you doing today?
Doing great, Jimmy. How are you, man?
This is a very, very busy day. Very busy day. I'm freaking out a little bit, but just trying to keep my shit together. And I'm very excited to have you on this show. You've been putting money in low baggers' pockets. We got a UFC event. Where is this taking place, this UFC card?
UFC Philly, the city of brotherly love.
Beautiful. And I'm looking at your plays and can't wait to hear you break them down. Let's go with your biggest dog on the card because everybody loves that. Your biggest dog on the card, Paul Craig. You got him at +185 going up against Kennedy Nzechukwu. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Nzechukwu. Big dog here. Craig +185. Tell us more about why you like him.
Don't feel bad. Nobody knows how to say that guy's last name.
Beautiful.
So Paul the Bear Jew Craig, that's his fight name, the Bear Jew. I love it. He's actually a submission specialist. He doesn't have that great of striking, but his opponent is actually really, really green. He doesn't have a whole lot of experience in MMA, and this, I think, is his first real UFC fight. He's stepping off of Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series. He's looked impressive in everything that he's done so far, but what I'm seeing in the tape is that he's got a hitch in his grappling game. He does not have a good ground game. He KOs people before it gets there, and he's fighting low-level regional content that can't exploit that kind of a deficit in his skill set. This guy, Paul Bear Jew Craig, if he gets it to the ground, Njoku's not getting back up. So he'll submit him, and I think we got a live dog here at +185. He can get him to the ground, control him, ride on him, even if he can't sink that sub in, but I think he actually gets it done by rear naked choke.
Rear naked choke. Big dog right there. And also the Pirates have taken the lead. It's all falling into place. All right, so we have a big dog at +185. That is Paul Craig and Anna Merrick predicting rear naked choke. Let's save the main... Well, actually, why don't we just go in the order that you're most excited about? You have another big dog. Big dog, just how you bet it. So you're going to have to explain that. Justin Gaethje versus Edson Barboza. Big fight here. Why don't you explain how you got the +160?
So this is the main event. We're jumping right into the deep end here. And this fight is going to be a war. This is fight of the night for sure. Hands down, both these guys are pure violence. Gaethje is a plotting forward movement type of guy. He stalks his opponents down. He will take a shot to give a shot, and 9 times out of 10, he lands a harder shot than they do. He's only got 2 losses on his record. Barboza is one of those guys who's been at the high level for a long time. He's taken a ton of damage. He recently had a bounce back fight against a young fighter who I think Gaethje's going to follow a similar game plan and just be able to implement it a little bit better. This fight is not going the distance. It's very close. If you tell me you like Barboza, no problem. I lean Gaethje, but the key here is you can get some extra value by getting it inside the distance since there's no way it's going to decision. So Gaethje's a slight underdog. I'm going to take him inside the distance and expect that he gets a ground and pound TKO victory probably in round 2 or 3. That's how we got to +150, +160 with that prop.
Beautiful. So we started off with 2 big plus lines in Paul Craig at +185 and Gaethje inside the distance at +160. Let's move on to Michael Johnson versus Josh Emmett. How do you see this one banging out, and who do you like here?
I love Josh Emmett in this fight. You can get him right around even money or slight dog money at this point. Michael Johnson's one of those fighters that just never lived up to expectations. He's kind of getting towards the end of his career. You can see him slipping. He's losing some speed. He's just not doing what he used to be able to do. That was his whole thing, is he had crushing knockout power and he was faster than all of his opponents. But as he's getting older, he's starting to lose that speed just a little bit. He's on kind of a skid. He bounced back with 2 victories against 2 very unimpressive fighters, one of which who isn't even in the UFC anymore. Now, Josh Emmett got his face smashed in by Jeremy Stephens in his last fight, so a lot of people have questions as to what kind of Emmett we're going to see coming back after that kind of an injury. But he took over a year off after that. That's kind of the rest time you need to see after a brutal injury. And he's coming back. He's hungry. He's on a tear before that, and his only loss was a split decision that he very well could have won. So he's only got 1 legitimate loss on his record, and it was to a guy in the very tip top of the division who's showing that he's still part of the top of the division these days. So I just think he's the better, well-rounded fighter, and I think Michael Johnson, there are some serious questions about him. He tends to gas out. He tends to quit. It's not the kind of guy that quits. You have to break him for him to stop coming forward. So I think we're getting a nice price on Emmett, who I believe should be the favorite in this fight.
And you're getting the nice price because he got knocked out last fight. That makes a lot of sense. We try to do that in all sports. Let the audience that has something fresh in their memory affect the market and take advantage of it. I like that very, very much. Okay, let's move on to Jack Hermanson versus David Branch. Who are you liking in this spot?
We're going to go with Hermanson. He's a slight favorite. Can get him right around minus 130 at this point. The comeback on the other side of this is basically his opponent is getting old. He's knocking on the door of 40. His last couple of fights, he got into the UFC too late. In his prime, he was a monster. He was a killing machine. And he got into the UFC, had an unimpressive debut, and then went alternating fights, 1 win, 1 loss. And 1 loss, 1 win, then another loss. So he's rebounding off of a loss here, but he just doesn't quite have it anymore. You rewind 5 years and he was an absolute beast, but he's just not there anymore. Hermanson is a young up-and-comer who's really coming into his prime. He's feeling himself. I think he's going to have the wrestling advantage, and he might even have the strength advantage. I expect him to put this fight on the ground and then probably get a TKO on top.
Yeah, and that's what Ricardo Gutierrez is saying. He's saying Hermanson by TKO. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. And now we come into the Michelle Waterson fight versus Carolina Kolkowitz. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Waterson versus Carolina. And here we go. Another dog on your card. Break this fight down for us.
So Carolina is one of my favorite female fighters, and I've got a real hard time going against her, but we are going to take Michelle Waterson. Strictly based off of her name is the Karate Hottie. No, I'm kidding. But I love that fight name. She's the Karate Hottie, and if you jump on her Instagram, her Twitter, she's put some serious muscle on for this fight. This girl is looking thick and ripped. She is ready to go. She's hitting a late resurgence in her career, and her last fight with a win over Felice Herrig really impressed me. Herrig is a bulldog kind of strength style women's fighter, and the fact that Waterson was able to go toe-to-toe with her, use enough technique to be able to overpower a girl that's bigger and stronger than her, really opened up my eyes to the skill set that she's got. And the fact that she's not laying down, even though she's been around for a long time in MMA, she's still very young. She's only 33. So arguably she could still be in her prime at this point, and it looks like she's taking things seriously. Carolina, on the other hand, was one of those undefeated fighters, flying high, had the hype train on her, and then she got knocked down by the top 5 of the division, and she hasn't really responded well. So we're not sure where she's at mentally. I think this is going to be a striker versus grappler matchup, except Waterson can maybe stay alive on the feet, whereas if it hits the ground, Carolina's a fish out of water. I just think Waterson has more ways to win this fight, and we've got a slight underdog price. I think it's going to be a close fight, and if one of them's going to finish it, it's going to be Waterson by submission.
Waterson, yeah, you got Waterson plus 129. Now, that's not Waterson by submission. That's just Waterson to win the fight?
Just Waterson to win the fight. I think she can grind out a decision. She can score on the feet. She can score on the ground. But if one of them is going to finish it, I do believe it would be Waterson of the two.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful stuff. Anna Merrick. So Anna Merrick is on Paul Craig at plus 185. He's on Michelle Waterson at plus 129. He's on Josh Emmett at plus 100. He's on Jack Hermanson at minus 118. And he's on Justin Gaethje inside the distance at plus 160. That's Anna Merrick's 5-fight card. That's a beautiful looking card. Four plus lines, and one slight favorite. And are you staying away from any parlays on this card?
So I do have a parlay that I actually gave out on my podcast. You've got Holland, who's about a minus 190 favorite, and Sadiq Youssef, who I believe is sitting right around minus 160, minus 165. I'm actually going to parlay the two of them together. It wasn't something I was going to give out officially, but since you asked, that's what I'm on.
Beautiful. I love it so much. And Merrick, where can we find you on Twitter, and tell us a little bit more about your podcast?
At Maximus in 3D on my Twitter, where you can find me for anything and everything that I do and follow. If you just want my MMA stuff, it's the Die Hard MMA podcast at Die Hard MMA Pod on Twitter. I let the podcast go every week so far. We are 35 and 26 plus 26.56 units on my picks since I started doing the Die Hard MMA podcast.
Oh, that is absolutely gorgeous numbers. Thank you so much for being a part of the Low Bag fam. Shout out to our guy, Anna Merrick. Beautiful, beautiful work. All right, our timing has been working so far, and that gives us a lot of time to break down this NBA card. Unbelievably, I made 2 plays, but forgot to bet one of them. I forgot to bet the Heat. I couldn't believe it when I looked that I didn't bet the Heat. So I made that an official play, but and the line hasn't moved, so I don't need to worry about that. First off, the man who knocked my ass out of the Bovada SBR Madness Poker Tournament came all the way to 5th place out of 190. That was spectacular work. I enjoyed hanging out with you immensely. But we have more important things at hand. This NBA card, another great opportunity for us with a ton of games. So we can pick our spots. 8 games, and we have time. We don't need to rush. I'll keep the brisk pace. You take your time. Ski Profit, my guy. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, Jimmy. You know I love breaking down the card with you. And you know it's all love, even though I knocked you out. That was just friendly fire.
Yeah, I can't laugh. I still can't laugh. Okay. Okay, let's get to work right now. I'm going to start rolling through games. This is the first play that I made and knew I wanted to make. Even though it was a low total, I was not scared. I got the under 207 in Magic at Pistons. And let's see what you can get now. If there's any 207s on the board, there are not. Oh, there is. Still up Bovada. There's still up Bovada, 207. Everywhere else is 206. Bookmaker at 206.5. Magic have won 6 straight. They now have the lead in the Southeast Division. Shout out to our guy, the Whale Capper, who's got a plus 800 ticket for the Magic to win the Southeast. Orlando followed up that 5-0 homestand with a big win on at Miami on Tuesday. That was a win in Miami that Ski Profit was on and Whale Capper was on. Magic's winning streak, their longest since 2010-2011. Pistons have lost 4 of their last 5, all on the road, but they've been very tough games. They trailed by 27 at halftime in Denver and showed a lot of heart to get back in to lose that game 95-92. They've won their last 9 games they've won their last 9 games at home. They're playing very good at Little Caesars Arena. This is a healthy Pistons squad. Ski, what are you thinking here? Magic at Pistons. And King Rail came on our morning show and said he liked the Pistons at -3. What do you think here?
Yeah, I don't like hearing that from Rail. And also the way you're talking about the Pistons, or just maybe just a couple things you said, it made me have some second thoughts about what I'm thinking here in this game. As far as the total, I mean, pace-wise, Detroit is the slowest in the league. Orlando 16th. Defensive, Orlando 2nd, last 5 games. Detroit hasn't been playing any defense. It's tough. That total is low as hell, Jimmy. For a team, I mean, usually when I bet unders, especially like low unders, I like for at least both teams to be teams that are going to play defense. So I'd have to, with Detroit not being one of those teams, even though they play slow, I mean, offensive rating in the last 5 games is 3rd, 15th for Orlando. I would kind of lean towards the over. Detroit plays towards the over at home, 20-16 at home. Orlando does play to the under away, though, 23-13 away, but I just think it's too little points. Detroit over 4 of their last 6 games. Orlando has been under 7 of their last 8. I just think it's too low of points. But as far as the spread, I talked about it kind of last time with Orlando and Miami. I mean, that was the game where, I mean, they couldn't take their foot off the pedal because this is what they've been battling for. They won 6 in a row. That's what they've been doing it for, to pass Miami up and get into the playoffs. Now, Orlando's in that 8th spot. I think they're a half game ahead of Miami, and I think they're a half game behind Detroit. So they can even slip into the 7th spot here. And Detroit, they haven't been playing well. They've lost 3 in a row. I think the points are a gift. I think the Magic will win or it will be a close game. I think 3.5 is too much. I would lean on the Magic.
I'm extremely impressed at those losses the Pistons just endured. Extremely impressed. It, especially coming back against Denver. That was a bad travel spot. Denver was angry. They put up 9 points in the first quarter. Dwayne Casey's not going to let this team go out without a fight here. I think this is a drag them out, smash them kind of a basketball game. I think it's going to be low scoring. I can't trust the Pistons outside shooting. I'm comfortable with the 207. Let's see what Rail says. He says totals went over 6 of the last 8 between the two. Magic 5 and 12 against the spread, last 18 in Detroit. Not applicable says Detroit going to wake up tonight. Randy Lockhart liking the over and saying Orlando rolls. Mally Mal saying take Orlando, man. Ricardo Gutierrez says Magic are a tough out right now. And Yo-Yo Street says, I said Magic in the morning show. Let's go Magic. I've been extremely impressed. And I keep saying that. Extremely impressed with the losses the Pistons have just endured. And now they're going back home. And that was an easy road spot for the Magic after 5 straight, just having to go to Miami. Now let's go up in the cold. Now let's go to Detroit and see how you guys
I have to challenge you, Jimmy.
Yeah,
that wasn't an easy spot. Miami was up and ready for that game. That game meant just as much to Miami as it did to Orlando. And they retired or honored Bosch, however you call it. That was a big game for Miami. So it wasn't an easy game they're just coming off of. That was an impressive win for them. They're 5.5 point dogs at a point. That tells you Orlando is not messing around. And they lose, they're right back behind Miami. So the point I see, it was a point here in the chat. They just won a further division game. I can't remember who said it, but why take the foot off the pedal? If you lose here, you're right back out of the playoffs.
Oh, I hear everything you're saying. And I didn't say it was an easy spot. I said it was an easy travel spot. Easy travel spot, playing 5 at home and then going to Miami. Very easy. Now let's take you up to Detroit. Let's head north. It's cold. Pistons are hungry. In saying all that, I'm not going to take the Pistons. I have a feeling that they step up here. The Magic have to have a letdown at some point here. They're playing very well. Fournier stepping up. I don't want to spend too long on this game. Are you making a move on the Magic?
I'll decide between Magic and one other game later on.
All right, you're going to decide another game. Okay, good things, good news coming in. Noli said we just hit that Cubs over. That's nice to know. Also, Twins just put on a couple runs, so that's nice to know. Okay, Yo-Yo Street said, Jimmy, they just came off the road now. First game home, take the Magic. I hear that. I hear what you guys are saying. I'm not going to take the Magic here. Okay, let's move on to Nets at Sixers. Sixers have dropped consecutive games on the road. Hawks and Magic. That was a bad 21-point loss at Orlando, but they were without Ben Simmons. He's been dealing with that respiratory infection for months. He's good to go tonight. How good, you don't know, because this has been sticking around with him just like this goddamn pneumonia in my chest. James Ennis sat out with a quad strain. Mike Scott left with back tightness. And Embiid went 20 and 10, but Harris and Butler had tough times without Simmons on the floor. Scott questionable, Ennis questionable, Simmons good to go. Nets coming off that 148-144 double overtime victory loss against the Blazers on Monday. D'Angelo Russell still playing incredible basketball. That was a tough loss. Crabbe, sore right knee, did not practice. He has no timetable. He's not going to be in the lineup. Travion Graham, left shoulder soreness is questionable. Ski, Nets at Sixers.
This game, I kind of go back and forth. I kind of think it's too many points for the Nets, just because it's the same kind of thing for the playoff race with them. I mean, they're going to play hard, but last 5 game stats, offensive rating and rebound percentage goes to Philly. Philly is 10 and 6 when the spread is -9 and -6. They are 2 and 5 against the spread their last 7 games. The stats kind of favor Brooklyn as far as these other ones. 10 and 6 when the spread is +6 to +9. 18 and 14 as a road dog. 17 and 12 versus 55% win teams. 4 and 1 against the spread the last 5. I mean, Philly, they're a great home team, but they're just 19 and 19 against the spread at home. Brooklyn, they're 23 and 15 against the spread away. 7.5 points. That's a lot of points. Brooklyn 3-0 against the spread against the Sixers this year. I would have to lean on Brooklyn with the points. I'm not going to make it a play, but that's where I would go in this game.
I agree, but just with a lukewarm feel, I don't know if I want to take it right now. Do you know did Brooklyn go home in between games here, Monday in Portland and flying across the country, or I don't know if anybody knows if they went home for a night before going to Philadelphia, because that's a very possible thing they could have done. I don't know if you know that. And what do you think about this total? Open at 230.5, now at 232.5.
I kind of feel that Simmons back is going to push the pace, and I think it will go over. I mean, last 5 games, pace, fourth and sixth. So, I mean, they're going to play fast. Brooklyn, they were high defensive rating, but they dropped to 16th in their last 5 games. Philadelphia is 27th. Offensive rating, fifth for Philadelphia, 19th for Brooklyn. So I think there will be points. I think it'll be fast paced. I would lean on the over.
Yeah, I think I kind of like the over too. Flipper13 saying Brooklyn line is dropping. CS Pill 99 says Brooklyn will cover. Giancarlo Bro says Nets have the worst calendar of all the playoff teams. I have a lean towards the over, and I'm close to making a move on it. Very close, in fact. So I'm on the Heat -7. Mavericks at Heat. I just think the Mavericks are going to let go. Now, I know the Heat are dealing with lots of injuries. Justin Winslow, bruised right thigh, questionable. Josh Richardson out with the heel injury. Magruder is barely playing. He's kind of out of the rotation anyways. Dallas 7-30 on the road. They just lost a tough game at home. Doncic continues to play spectacularly well, but I'm on the Heat -7, -105. What do you feel on this game, Ski?
And also, Winslow just ruled out. So Winslow will be out and Richardson will be out. On this game, I mean, I think Miami will win, but it's quite a bit of points. I don't know so much that they cover. Uh, they're 3-7 when the spread is -8.5 to -5.5. They're 9-18 as a home favorite, 10-12 versus lesser competition. They are 4-2 against the spread their last 6, and they're 5-0 last 5 after a loss. So, I mean, they have motivation to come in and win this game, but by how many points? Dallas, they're 8-7 spread +5.5 +8.5. They're 11-8 versus mediocre teams, 4-1 against the spread their last 5 road games. Last 5 games, offensive rating, defensive rating, rebound percentage. Dallas wins 2 out of 3. I would have to take the points with Dallas. And as far as the total, Dallas went over 4 of the last 6. Miami's went under 4 of their last 5 at home. Well, I'm not sure what the number is right now, but I have in my notes that I had to lean towards the over, but I think the stronger lean in this game will be Dallas side.
This total is moving up. It's now at 211.5, and you have to think there'll be more defense without Richardson, or excuse me, more offense without Richardson and Winslow defending the perimeter with their length. You know, I actually like both those looks, but you know, I this was the game that I missed up and didn't bet for some reason. I was so overwhelmed. So I'm happy to get the 6. I'm telling you, the Heat are going to smash the Mavericks today. And I know I don't like going against Ben Dover. That guy hammers and hits. So, but I think the Miami Heat smash this Dallas squad, smash them, and no Hardaway anymore. I mean, I think this Mavericks team is absolute trash. And they're going to be good next year or whatever, but I'm on Heat -7, and I'm not going to take the over just because of that concern. But it opened at 209. It's now moved to 211. But I could be persuaded into taking it. I'm going to jump on this over, though, right now. Brooklyn, Philadelphia, over 232.5 at -103. Do you think you're going to make a move on either the total or the side here?
No, I'm interested in that Orlando game. I'm gonna fire on that game if you don't agree with me on another game. And there's one other game that I do love, so I would just like to keep it moving right now.
Let's keep it moving. You want to talk about a game in particular?
Sure. So the game. Let's talk about the Rockets in Denver.
Let's do it. Houston had won 14-16 before losing to the Bucks on Tuesday in Milwaukee, and I was on the Rockets there. Gordon and Tucker shot 1 for 13. This Nuggets team rebounded from that embarrassing loss, but they're still they scored 29 points in the second half against Detroit. I can't really put my finger on what's going wrong, but with the Rockets, no Kenneth Faried, and he picks and chooses when he plays defense, so no Kenneth Faried. And also, Green with the left adductor strain missed 7 to 10 days, but Eric Gordon is probable. What do you think here? Nuggets, Rockets. The Nuggets game, this total is at 217 down from 218.5, and I'll grab the spread in a second. Actually, why don't I grab it right now? Sorry. Nuggets spread against here it's -6. It's been -6 all day long, -5.5 at Bookmaker. Denver at Houston.
Okay, I'm looking at this game, and I'm kind of thinking we talked about that Houston versus Milwaukee spot the last time we were together, Jimmy, and we got it wrong. But I told you that I think I mean, they didn't win that game, but I thought Houston was going to win out, and I do think they win the rest of their games. Here, Denver, we know Houston's a good home team. Denver is not so good away. Last 5 game stats, offensive rating, defensive rating. Houston has the advantage. Denver wins the boards. When the spread is +4 to +7, Denver is 4-5. They're 2-5 against the spread. Their last 7. Rockets are 17-15 as a home fave. 17-11-1 versus 55% win teams or more. This game, I just kind of have a feeling like the Rockets cover. It's not too many stats here that back it up as far as besides the last 5 games, offensive rating, defensive rating, but I feel like it's a cover spot for the Rockets. As far as the total, I see points. Since against 500 plus 500 teams or more, Rockets are 4-1, and after a loss, Denver is 4-1 to the over as well. I just see after that game against the Bucks, Rockets come out here and torch them, and just light it up. It's kind of more of a filling spot than anything else, Jimmy. Do you agree with any one of those looks?
I do. How do you break it down with no free? Do you think that is Nene going to step up? Like, what's going to happen if Capella gets an injury or a foul trouble or needs a rest? Who comes in at the 5?
I'm honestly breaking down this game, and I'm thinking the Rockets just shoot them out the gym. I'm not really thinking it's going to be slower, and they need to worry so much about that. Maybe this is not one of the stronger plays. Maybe my stronger play was Orlando. I did feel stronger about that Orlando spot, so I will make the Orlando +3.5 my play rather than take one of these spots here, Jimmy.
Well, everybody's with you, though. Everybody in the chat's with you. Jake Vandergaan said, I'm with you, Ski. Can't see Rockets having 2 slump games. A lot of guys, Mally Mal says Rockets is the best in the West. George Cruz saying Rockets -5.5 is fire. A lot of people. Randy Lockhart, Houston's going to show Denver, regardless of standings, they're the second best team in the West. Chris Cross says Rockets win and over. Adam Lastman, Rockets own Denver. Mally Mal, Rockets going to show them what's going to happen in the playoffs.
Okay, so Rockets are 7-1 straight up after the All-Star break with a +8 point differential. So they win by about 8 points or more at home. I mean, Denver sucks away. I mean, I just feel like it lines up, Jimmy. Maybe I'll think about that one a little more as it goes on. But I do like that Magic +3.5. If that's still available, I'm going to grab that right now. And on this one, I guess I would lean more towards the Rockets than the total.
Interesting. Kenneth Heath says Rockets smash, still have a chance for second seed. Farshid Asami, Rockets will cover. Bill Papastolu says Jokic isn't firing, Nuggets are going to be in trouble. And if he isn't firing, they nearly gave away the Pistons game. Everyone's saying they're not good on the road. Interesting. Okay, I'm just going to put a lean right there. Okay, let's talk about the Clippers at plus. Are they still up? Let me see if they're still at +9 here. We do know that Landry Shamet will be in the lineup. There is 9 available. They did have a champagne celebration for making the playoffs. I don't really like that stuff that much. I'm sure that they were supposed to win 33 games, and now they still have a chance at 50, but they're going for their 6th straight win. Oh, no, sorry. They won their 6th straight game, 122-111 Minnesota. Gallinari, 10 straight games at 20+. Bucks have won 4 of their last 5. They're dealing with injuries. Do you feel like the Clippers are live here at 9 points?
I do not, Jimmy. I think this is a spot for the Bucks. Some stats here for the Bucks. When the spread is -10.5 to -7.5, they're 16-4-1. They're 22-13-1 as a home favorite, 15-10 versus 55% win teams or more, 4-1 against the spread the last 5. They're missing Mirotic, they're missing Tony Snell, they're missing Brogdon, but that hasn't mattered. We thought it might matter. We thought they may lose the last game versus the Rockets. They won with defense. And on that Rocket spot, and also another spot before that, or actually Rocket spot that time and the OKC spot yesterday, I passed up on the sharp spot on the under. And I think that's where the look is again here. It's went under for the last 5 games for Milwaukee. Defensive rating last 5 games is 1st for Milwaukee, 8th for the Clippers. For the Clippers side, they're number 2 defending the 3. Milwaukee doesn't even have that many 3-point shooters left. I said Mirotic is out, Snell's out, Brogdon's out. Under 8 of the last 10 versus winning teams, +500 teams for the Clippers. Under 23-16 away. This is my favorite play of the day, Jimmy. Under Milwaukee and Clippers. It climbed up, I think, even, but I don't care. What do I get? I think 234 now. I was waiting to let it climb, and I'm gonna fire.
I love that breakdown. This was not on my radar. I think that's a great breakdown. I mean, the Clippers put up 122 points at Minnesota. Minnesota plays very little defense. The Bucks are going to be a much tougher look there, and I think that's a great look. You're right. They're missing Brogdon. They're missing some outside shooting with Brogdon and Mirotic. I think this is a good look. I mean, we're used to it's just a vividness bias of the Clippers putting up so many points. But I think you're right here. I think this is a good look. I'm going to jump on this with you. I'm going to take the under 234. While I'm doing that, should we take the Kings here against the Pelicans? We do know that AD will be back, and Elfrid Payton is probable. Frank Jackson's in concussion protocol. I mean, this is a Pelican squad that's leaning on Christian Wood to get points. Do the Kings take care of the Pelicans, or you think that's a dangerous spot?
You know what? I was looking at the Kings today, and I was trying to find ways to back them. Last 5 game stats, offensive rating, defensive rating, rebound percentage, they have the advantage. I mean, New Orleans hasn't really been doing anything. 1-9 against the spread, their last 10. They're 6-9 when the spread is +3 to +6. 7-9 as a home dog. 7-10 versus mediocre teams. Sacramento, on the other hand, 7-4 when the spread is -6 to -3. 7-2 as a road favorite. 17-7 versus 45% win teams or less. They are 1-4 straight up their last 5 road games. The one thing that I do not like in this game, I mean, it didn't even really move the line, but just from watching, I don't like Harry Giles being out. I like when he plays with Bagley. I like what they have going together. I mean, I just didn't like it. I can understand why everybody would like the Kings, and I can't really say to take the other side because I was looking to back the Kings if anything, but that is just the reason why I won't. And also, I think it will be points. Both teams, high pace. 8th last 5 games for Sacramento, 2nd for New Orleans. The Kings are 21-14 to the over on the road. Defensive rating 21st and 14th, nothing to be scared of. Over 6 of the last 9 games for the New Orleans. It would have to be Kings or the over, but I'll just say I don't like Harry Giles being out for Sacramento.
Yeah, and maybe AD coming back will spark them. Interesting. Now Elfrid Payton going to play, maybe that sparks them. Why this total? You think it just opened way too high? Opened at 239, now down to 236. You think that's why the movement's gone to the under?
I didn't even see it drop. I can't really say why it would drop. Maybe it's just too high. Yeah,
just too high. Interesting.
I'm not gonna make it a play, but I mean, I was looking to back either Sacramento or the over. That was where I was looking to go in this game, but I'm not making a play on either one.
They just play no defense whatsoever, these two teams. So, and then Peyton's back and Anthony Davis is back. I think that over is a very interesting look. All right, we got to move on to college basketball. Do you have a feel for this Cavs Spurs spot? The total opened at 220. It's now down to 219. Cavs are actually healthier than they've been all year. Kevin Love also coming off a terrible game. Spurs are 12-point favorites. They're retiring Ginobili's number. You have any feel there?
I don't want to waste any time. I don't have a play on it. I think I was leaning towards the under. Last 5 game stats, Spurs have the advantage defensive and rebounding. Cleveland 11-17 versus 55% win teams or more. They're 4-2 against the spread last 6 games. I would like Cleveland more if they're at home. Spurs play way better at home. Their defense shows up at home. They're 7-2-1 against the spread their last 10, under 11 of the last 14. Spurs under 20-17 at home. Cleveland under 19-17 away. I mean, I might lean more towards the defensive game. That would be my lean on this one. But my plays for sure that I'm on: Milwaukee under and Orlando +3.5. And I'm gonna take another second after the show and look at the Rockets one last time.
Yeah, and I'll be looking on your Twitter to see what you decide to do with that. And this Raptors-Knicks game is a spot that I don't want anything to do with. Kawhi Leonard being rested. The Raptors are just trying to figure stuff out, and they're playing they don't care about covering these games, and they didn't care about covering against the Bulls. They were barely playing, and New York dealing with a ton of injuries. Let's just see if there's been any movement here. Toronto opened up at 11.5. They're now 11 or 10.5, and the total opened at 215. It's now 219.5. Do you have any feel for this Raptors Knicks spot?
New York just can't really score. I'll just have to see if Alonzo Trier's playing. I'll have to see what's up with Dennis Smith, Kevin Knox. I'd have to wait on injuries, but without those players, I mean, I don't really see points. And also, New York already plays to the under at home, 21-15 at home. They have went over 4 of their last 5 games. Toronto's went over 5 of their last 5. Pace, 11th and 12th. I don't know, Jimmy. I just see either a blowout, and I don't see New York touching 100. So
Giancarlo's
I will
saying
wait on the injuries.
Giancarlo's saying that Dennis Smith is in. Knox is questionable, but Vonleh and Trier are out. So
Yeah, I would think it would be less points, and I would lean more towards Toronto as much as I don't want to with them. They hardly ever cover, but I would think it would be less points, and I would lean on Toronto. Of course, they have the advantage the last 5 games every category, but I mean, I think New York needs Trier to score. I mean, they have an injured Smith. We'll see what's up with Knox, but yeah, that just leads me to take Toronto.
I'm going to stay off that spot. Ski backing it as well. Okay, so let's take. I'm going to jump on the Kings Pelicans over with you guys. I like that line has moved down, and great job here, Ski. So I'm going to jump on the over, but we got to get to college basketball. So I'm jumping on the over 236. That's available at Bookmaker, over 236 at -110. Over 236 -110 in Kings at Pelicans. King Rail saying Smith on a restriction. Flipper saying, how are the baseball plays that are going right now? We will go over them give it a little bit more time, but God, I need that extra run in Houston. Okay, so that's what's up. A great job, Ski. Where can we find you on Twitter?
Oh yeah, find me on Twitter at Ski Profit. Hit me up. I'll be on here looking at the rest of the games. Good luck on all your action. A lot of action today, and just good luck, everybody. Thanks for having me, Jimmy.
What a great guy, Ski Profit. So just to go over my plays again, I'm on Magic, Pistons under 207. I'm on the Nets Sixers over 232.5 at -103. I'm on the Heat -7 at -105. I haven't bet that yet. That's from the morning show, so I will get a 6 when I bet it. I think they smash. Really, I think they smash the Mavericks tonight. Nuggets, Rockets, I'm kind of hesitant to make a move, but I'm on the under. Clippers, Bucks with you under 234. Bill made a great point about psychologically being a bad spot after the Clippers have the celebration and no Beverly. I'm on the over 236 with Kings, Pelicans, and that is my card at the moment. Okay, without further ado, let's bring in our NCAA basketball expert, Max Westmar. Thank you for your patience, Max. Sorry to keep you waiting there. Very excited. Sweet 16 is about to start. How are you feeling today?
Like that I was correct in seeing that the line went up in Gonzaga's favor. It did hit that 8, so I did lay another ticket on Florida State. Fact is, I'm ready to get down with the Chris Town, but what really has me excited today are the 3 non-tournament games. So I'm ready to break them all down with you and the low batters right now.
Oh, man, love your energy. Love working with you. And we got on the 8s, but there are no more 8s available. They're back down to 7.5s and 7. So we timed that spectacularly well. Okay, so we're going to touch on the 3 non-tourney games second. But first, let's talk Florida State, Gonzaga. We were both on Florida State at +8. I'm so thankful that we jumped on it. It's now 7.5 or 7 at Bovada. This total's been around 148 the whole time. It's up to 149 now. Florida State, Gonzaga. Tell us more about why you like Florida State and have you made the move on the total?
Yeah, I'm not making a move on the total. I like the game to go over. I just think that Florida State's, with its size, they're going to be able to dominate Gonzaga's front court. They haven't seen this type of size, this type of skill. I think Florida State's chomping at the teeth to get a shot at this Gonzaga team, and I just pray that Leonard Hamilton isn't responsible for making a decision late in the game that decides the cover or the outright win. I think Florida State can step go toe-to-toe with Gonzaga. They just need to contain Zach Norvell, keep him off the line, keep him cold from the field, and hope that the ball is in Josh Perkins' hand. If you're going to foul him, he's going to go 1 for 2 more often than not. So I think this Florida State team's also going to be playing with the motivation for Phil Kofer, for Phil Kofer's family, and that's something that obviously we're not going to talk about too much in the media. But from a capping perspective, oh my God, no. Brian Arpin has just let me know while I'm looking at the chat that Mr. Poison is big on Florida State +8 and first half for 50K also. Oh my God, that's terrible. Jimmy, literally when this guy goes on a pick, I have had enormous success going on the other side. And now I'm completely dumbfounded because if Mr. Poison's on Florida State, I don't want to be on Florida State.
Yeah, I saw that too, but let's not let it affect us. That is dangerous. That is dangerous, but let's not let that affect us.
Oh my God, that's affecting me. Mr. Poison is he gets bookies rich. Bookies buy their summer homes just on Mr. Poison's bets. He's 1-5 in college basketball in his last 6. Wow. I'm completely dumbfounded.
Let's stay focused. Don't worry about Poison. I like it. Let's stay focused here. Purdue, Tennessee. Tennessee opening at -1, now -1.5 or -2, even -2.5 at Bovada. Total open at 146.5. Now it's up to 147.5, 148. David H sent me a message. He said, "Get on Purdue. Get on Purdue right away." What do you think about this Purdue Tennessee spot? I don't have a play on it right now.
Yeah, I agree with David H. I'm already on Purdue a couple ways. I'm on them on the money line and on the spread. I am disagreeing with a lot of people. I've been told that I'm wrong today on this game. There is a 43% chance that I'm going to be wrong. The fact is, this Carson Edwards team is definitely not as deep and talented as what we've seen from Tennessee, but this is the Big Ten co-champion. They won this conference. They did it the hard way. It's not like they had one of the easier schedules when it comes to Big Ten basketball. There's no strength of schedule when it comes to that. And I think that Carson Edwards has gone up against this Tennessee Volunteer team, albeit both of them were a couple years younger. I think Carson Edwards has matured. I think that the difference in this game also is coaching. So coaching is going to be my deciding factor with this breakdown on this show, because this is where I see Matt Painter having the advantage. He plays in more big games. He plays in bigger rivalry games, in my opinion, than SEC basketball. Big Ten basketball rivalries, SEC basketball rivalries, one and the other are not the same. So I'm thinking that this Purdue team is going to show us, well, this is why the line makers had it at 1.5 or 2, and that this line isn't 5 or 6 in favor of Tennessee, because Matt Arms has found himself. He's a rim protector. He's athletic. He's energetic. He wears his emotions on his sleeve. I think he's having a big game. He's not going to be intimidated by the front court of Tennessee. And I think if you get Kyle Alexander into foul trouble, and you keep Jordan Bone cold from the 3-point line, and off and out of the lane, I think that Purdue's going to end up winning this game. So I wish everybody the best of luck, but I'm taking it, and I'm not jolting, even if Mr. Poison is on Purdue.
Well, I heard a bunch of reasons why David H likes it as well, and I'm going to jump on it. I just feel like Tennessee can't put it together for a full 40 minutes. Purdue, I'm taking them on the money line at +120, and that is available at 5 dimes, +120. Okay, let's keep moving along here. Let's jump on to Texas Tech, Michigan. Michigan opening at -2, now down to -1 or -1.5. Still a -2 at Bovada. The total opening up at 126.5, now down to 125 or 124.5. Both you and Kelly in Vegas like that Texas Tech squad. Can you let us know why, where you got it at, and what you think about the total?
Yeah, Red Raiders all the way for me, +2 in the money line. The total is a weird number. I saw it open at 130. I've seen it go down to 125, and I've seen it at 126. I've seen it bouncing around. I don't like the total. I think that both these teams are able to score the ball against each other tonight. I'm not looking to get on and under in this game. I would be looking towards the over. I think it's going to be close. I think free throws will end up having to decide the game. We could even have an overtime game. So we'll see what happens on that. But as far as I'm concerned, Matt Mooney has a big challenge tonight with Charles Matthews. They're going to have to deal with the size of Michigan. I don't think that John Teskey is a game-changing size, so I'm not really going to put too much into that. I think that if you can push Teskey out and freaking lure him out to the three-point line where he does want to put up shots without much success, I think that's an advantage. I think that you really just got to be able to play good on-ball defense, and I think that Jared Culver is going to have an outstanding game. From what I watched in his interviews, he doesn't see Michigan as even being one of the top 5 teams that he's played against this year, and he sees Duke being a much better team. I think that he's going to have to put his money where his mouth is, and with the front court senior upperclassmen of Odiasi and Tariq Owens, I think that these guys, although they don't have that height as much, these guys are thick, strong guys, and I think they're going to get on the glass. I think they're going to make an impact, and I think that guys like Xavier Simpson are going to have a little bit of trouble getting that disgustingly ugly hook shot off, and I think that Texas Tech, led by Coach Beard, is going to outcoach Coach Beeline.
Wow, that's exciting. I've been waiting to pull the trigger, and I don't know why. I'm going to run with you and Kelly there. I'm going to take Texas Tech on the money line again at 5 dimes at +113. Teddy B says horrible Michigan wins. Interesting. And did you make a move on the total, Max?
No, I didn't. I'm not playing the total. I'll look to get on it live. I want to see how these guys match up against each other.
And then Oregon, Virginia. Man, about an hour and a half ago, we had 120s and 120 and a halves. It's come back down to 119 and a half. On the morning show, at the very end of it, I jumped on first half and full game Virginia going up against Babano, who likes Oregon, although he's only on Oregon full game, I believe. Virginia, 8.5 or 8. That line has not moved in a while. Max, tell us more why you like Virginia, and let us know if you made a move on the total.
Yeah. Let's just keep in mind, guys, that there's a lot of square action coming into our realm and adding to these totals and pushing these numbers around. So I'm trying not to pay too much attention to it because, let's be honest, there's dudes that are throwing $5 and $10 on just to have it to watch the game. I'm looking at it like this: Virginia's going to win. Virginia's going to cover. Virginia's going to be the first 1 seed to lose to a 16 and then come back the next year and win it all. Well, you got to win this game tonight. I think they're winning this game. I think they're winning it in style, with fashion. I think that DeAndre Hunter was missing last year. He's going to be the difference this year. We're going to see him take off tonight. Obviously, Ty Jerome needs to be responsible and take good care of the ball. I think he's going to be able to do that. They're going to be able to stop Oregon from forcing turnovers. I think the defense is going to have a little bit of a harder time dealing with guys like Mamadi Diakate. He is evolving before our very eyes, and I think that this Virginia Wahoo team is on a mission. Oregon's in the way. Oregon is about to get fed. It's duck season, and I'm hungry for a duck.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love duck, too. Did you make a move on the total?
No, I'm not making a play on the total. If anything, I want the under in this game, and I want it to go back up to 120.
All right. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Okay, well, that does it for all the tourney games, and we have 3 other non-tourney games that are very exciting. My God, I'm desperately needing a run in a couple of these games, and then I could have a very, very nice day. Oh, God, it's close. Okay, let's move on to and get off to a good start in MLB, which would be shocking. Okay, let's move on to these non-tourney games. Let's start with Loyola Marymount, Florida. Man, did this total take a run. 125 up to 132. The side open with South Florida at -4.5. Now it's -4. Max, Loyola Marymount, South Florida.
Yeah, no, I'm on South Florida. I'm on the over. I think that this travel spot is the same action that burnt me with Brown. I think going across the country to South Florida, where South Florida has dominated their home gym. The key is Alexis Yetna. If Alexis Yetna is on the floor like he was in the last game for 37 minutes, he's going to get you a double-double. He's going to be efficient with his shot attempts. He's going to play good defense. He's going to protect the rim, and if you need a free throw, he will make it at the end. LaQuincy Verdue and David Collins both had good games. I think obviously you need the trio of these guys all to be playing well, and you need to contain James Bateman. This Loyola Marymount team definitely has a lot of talent. We've seen what they've done in the West Coast Conference. That West Coast Conference is very talented and has a lot of parity. I just think that their run is coming to an end tonight. I think that USF is going to beat them. I think USF is going to cover the 4 points, and I think that this total is going to go over. So that's how my action is on that.
What did you get the total at?
131.5.
Okay, yeah. Wow, look at this movement. Because it opened up on the 26th, so it opened up 2 days ago at 125, and within 6 minutes, this is at Pinnacle, within 6 minutes it was at 128. Also opened up at 125 at Bet Online. Within 6 minutes it was up to 128. Within 8 minutes it was up to 131.5. Then it got up to 132.5 and went back down to 131 and 131.5. Wow, so you like UCF and you like the over. We've had other people jumping on that. Very, very interesting stuff. Zach Rose, Alavi says, shit came in late. What was Ski's picks? We'll go over that a bit, but you can also check that out on his Twitter at Ski Profit. I like both those looks. I'm going to double up on this game. I'm going to take USF at -4. Okay, I'm going to do some line shopping for jumping on both those plays. While I'm doing that line shopping, tell me about this Hampton NJIT spot. NJIT opening at -3, now -3.5. Total at 154.5, now 155. Max, Hampton NJIT.
Yeah, I'm on NGIT. I'm on the under 154. The fact is, even if Abdul Lewis doesn't play, I think that the Graph has a good opportunity to step up in the spotlight. Obviously, he doesn't have the NBA type ready body, but he knows how to get down low. He knows how to get rebounds. He knows how to get the ball in good scoring positions. Secondly, the experienced guards of Gibbs and Wilson, I think, are there to support Zach Cooks. And let's not forget that game that Zach Cooks had 10 days ago where he put up 34 points. It was a fantastic game. I watched it from wire to wire. It brought me great effing joy. You know what? Zach Cooks is a player, even at 5'9", he can go up against this Hampton team with Merrow and Fisher. I think that you're going to need Hextall and Akeem Mitchell to be efficient and effective front court scoring. I don't know if it's going to happen. I think that we're going to see a little bit more defense in this game. NGIT has been bringing down the three-point defense as of late. It was 47% before they started the ASUN tournament. It's down now 6% in the last 5 games, but I think that we're going to see a more home-like three-point defensive performance from NGIT, and we know that Hampton relies a lot on the three-point basket to score their points. I think NGIT wins this game. I think that they win it I'm just going to say they win it, and they cover the 3.5 points. It is my play of the day, and I am on the under full game 154.
Wow, and that's gone up a little bit, up to 155.5 a bookmaker. Interesting. I like both those looks. I like both those looks a lot. I'm going to line shop there. I did do some line shopping. I'm on USF -4, -105 at Heritage, and Loyola USF over 131.5 and -113 at bookmaker. And then that brings us to Texas Southern, Louisiana Monroe. Louisiana Monroe opening up at -8. They've been there all day. Bookmaker is hanging at 7.5 and a very high total of 171, and that hasn't moved. Max, Texas Southern, Louisiana Monroe.
Yeah, I'm on Louisiana Monroe -4.5 first half. That's the bet that I've only laid on it. I'm on the under also. I'm on the under 171. The fact is, I don't know what the deal with Trayvon Reed is. I haven't been able to find any information on why he hasn't played the last 2 games and if he's going to play tonight. The fact is, Jeremy Combs, when he is the primary offensive weapon, they do play a little bit of a slower pace because he is a back-to-the-basket type scorer. He is coming off a 27-17 game where he did have some foul trouble, but he was able to be very efficient while he was on the court. 38 minutes definitely was a big performance for Jeremy Combs, but this is something that we've learned to expect from him throughout the season. The X factor for this team is going to be Tyreek Armstrong. What is he going to be able to do as far as distributing the ball and making sure that he's taking enough good shots in the zone? I think that this Louisiana Monroe team is very efficient at home. They've shown some home dominance. They have a multitude of different guys that can step up each game. And I think that tonight, Deshaun Smith is going to have to challenge the front court of Texas Southern, drive the basketball, get into the lane, and try and get to the free throw line and get some of these guys in foul trouble, because this Texas Southern team has shown us over and over again that you want to put them as a plus money or a plus money bet, they're going to be cashing for some of their bettors. They're coached by Johnny Jones. They have a lot of good wins for some marquee teams already this season. I'm looking to get on Monroe first half, and I'll probably, to be quite frankly, looking to get on Texas Southern once I see what the roster is, what the minute rotation is going to be, and if Trayvon Reed's in the lineup. Because if Trayvon Reed's in the lineup and Texas Southern can slow the pace down versus Louisiana Monroe, which I think that they'll be obliged to do, I think that is under 171 is just a little too high.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm hesitant to make a move on Louisiana Monroe with the questions about Texas Southern, whether Trayvon's going to be in the lineup. But that 171 just seems so high, hasn't moved. God, that's a high-scoring game if they want to get there. What did you get that at, 171?
Yeah, 171.
You know, I'm going to jump on that under 171 at minus 105. That's at 5 dimes. So that's the Tex S under 170.
Yeah, I would also...
Yeah?
Sorry. I would also say that our friend of the show, Queen of the Unders, Red Girl's also on this, and the Godfather of Volumes on the under, if I'm not mistaken. Someone will have to double check that for me. So that just validates the total for me a little higher. And it works in the same situation that when we validated the play that Kobe Valentine was on when he was on the Wichita State money line. Same thinking for me.
I love it. I love it. I can't believe that Houston couldn't get that run across the plate. God damn, I'm going to miss this. Good deal over. Okay, that's wonderful, wonderful stuff. Great, great work. I jumped on those 3 plays with you guys. NJIT minus 3.5 and minus 105 at Heritage. NJIT under 155.5 and minus 109 at Bookmaker. And the under 171 at minus 105 at 5 dimes. So I've added those 7 plays to my card. Exciting stuff. Exciting stuff. Mele Pettis Wade joining us. Great to see him. Says Sharks Hawks first period over 2.5. Wow. Let's get it. Wow. Love you, Mele Pettis Wade. Thank you for joining us. Interesting stuff. They wanted to talk quickly about how the baseball has gone today. Let's quickly go over it together. So hit with Minnesota. So that's 1-0. Hit with San Diego, 2-0. And then lost with the over in New York Mets Washington. So that's 2-1. And then if I don't get a run, I'm going to lose this over in Houston, Tampa. That'll go 2-2. I hit the over in Chicago, Texas, 3-2. I need one more run in Pittsburgh, Cincinnati to go 4-3. If I don't get that run, although it's a push here officially, but on my bets, I got 8.5. Then I'll go 3-4 on my bets, except I've got the Rangers minus 1.5 hanging. So still possible to have a good day. Sherigan Amaterasu says, show us your college basketball record, Jimmy. I can't right now, but it's almost done. All of the records are almost done, and so everything will be back up in every single sport. I can tell you, though, in the last month, I've taken it right in the old drink hole. And with the records, we have the records up to a date, and that date's about 4 or 5 weeks ago, and then we have the records since that date, and they're going to be horrifying college basketball. But I might be able to fix some of that tonight. And thank you so much for joining us, Maxwell Smart. You are a great guy. Charles Bark said, why did you take the over with DeGrom and Mad Max on the hill? Because it was the first game of the year. I thought they could get touched. I was wrong. Max, where can we find you on Twitter? And what else you have going on this week coming up?
Yeah, you can find me at MaxwellSmart420 on Twitter. You can find me on my YouTube channel, MaxwellSmart420, where the vulgarity is blazing, the 420 sessions are going, and I'm obviously talking about a lot of college softball. And of course, you can find me on my show with my co-host, the polite capper, Drew Martin. We are on with Ian Cameron, the great Bobano, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., and then Drew and I will take care of business Sunday at 10 a.m. We will be lock, stock, and loaded. We will have winners to put out, and hopefully plays of the days to cash and boast about for the next day. So make sure you tune in. It's going to be a fun time, entertaining, and we will fatten your pockets.
I can't wait. You're loving your show, especially on Saturday, but loving your show with Mr. Drew Martin. Noli knows 6-1 with one pending in MLB today. Love seeing you get off to that kind of a start. God, I wish I could get that kind of a start too. And without further ado, Max, thank you so much for joining us. Could you please introduce none other than Freddie Fortune?
Absolutely. With my esteemed pleasure, I would like to introduce to you a man, a gentleman, a man named Freddie. His last name is Fortune, and he's here for you.
Hey,
Hello.
I was looking for something, but I can't find it here.
That sucks, man. But we're in the middle of a show.
Where is it?
Why don't you focus on the fact that we're live?
We're live, right?
Yeah.
I know that we're live.
Okay.
I got some facts for you.
Okay, interesting.
I don't like your lady sports, but I got NHL today.
Do you mind letting the fans see your horrifying mug?
I don't have my mug here.
Your face?
Oh, okay. Hey everyone, Freddie Fortune here.
All right.
How are we doing?
Doing great. I got bets
Okay.
to make this being a very,
I
very intense day.
gotta play, but I got some facts for you before.
Sure. Let's hear
Okay,
your
so
facts. Okay.
did you know that the Nashville Predators are a professional ice hockey team based in Nashville, Tennessee? I bet you didn't know that. Also, in January 1980, the team switched from being blue and white to their present day sheen of black and gold. I bet you don't know who I'm talking about. Let me continue speaking about this.
Is who you're talking about.
Yes, exactly. To honor the other Pittsburgh teams, the Pirates, the Steelers, and also the Pittsburgh flag. I got some more information for you.
No, I'm good. That was some exciting stuff. Maybe we'll add some more interesting notes tomorrow. But what I would love to hear is your action. And I'm assuming it's on NHL because you've been giving those very interesting facts.
No, it's Costa Rican soccer.
Okay.
No, it was a joke.
Oh, hilarious.
Nashville at Pittsburgh under 6 and -110 at BetOnline.
Nashville, Pittsburgh, understand. Oh, that's why you dropped those interesting facts.
I need to, like, it's like an introduction to my information.
Oh, you do a spectacular
That's
work.
what I investigated for this.
Incredible investigation, analysis, and breakdowns. Freddie, you're just doing a hell of a job. So you're on the under 6. You know, I actually like that look. Under 6 and -110, those Pittsburgh under 6.
I hate unders
Yeah.
as much as Nolly knows.
You.
I know he hates them, so.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you to all of our guests. We had Anna Merrick breaking down UFC. We had my man Ski Profit breaking down NBA. We had my man Maxwell Smart breaking down college basketball. And we had Freddie Fortune delivering very interesting notes on the Penguins and the Avalanche. Penguins in Nashville. Thank you guys so much. This has been a very, very hectic day. Let's come back as winners tomorrow. Most importantly, stick around for King's Court and Lecce, Alo's Bookmakers!